Hello, my wonderful doll loving friends. This is Annie from Annie's Playhouse, and I'm wondering if you, like me, love diversity in your Barbie community. And in my playhouse, I have all shapes and sizes, and even ages, and different ethnicities, but I decided that I needed a Muslim doll in my playhouse. So I've decided that this little beautiful girl, I'm naming her Tina, and she's going to be my Muslim girl. I just fell in love with this doll. She has a sweetness about her, and I just thought that she would be that kind of modest and lovely person like many of the Muslim people are. She's fashionista number 199. That's who she is. And she's really a sweetheart. Let's get her out of here so you can see her without the glare. Where I live now in rural coastal Maine, I don't really see a lot of Muslims. If I go to even Portland, which is about an hour and a half away from me, or any of the larger cities, I'm apt to see some Muslim people, but not necessarily where I live. But when I was in Texas, I lived in the Dallas area for a while, and there were a lot of Muslims in the community there, and I just feel like they absolutely should be represented in my Dolly verse. So here she is. Isn't she sweet? Like, she's such a nice face. So I'm going to pull this. There's one tab over there, and then a couple, just one tea tie. This was not too bad coming out of the box. I'm happy to report. There's not too much. There was just that one, and then there's like two little, they're sort of like tea ties, I guess. Whoops. Oh, just that one. Let her go. All right, that's fantastic. The easier we can get these dolls out of the box, the better. She has kind of an unusual pair of shoes. I think those of you that collect fashionistas probably have seen it before. I have not seen them before. But she does, her dress is kind of cute. It has like a little cutout. It's rather short. I don't mind the pattern too much. It's not the, best dress I've ever seen, but it's not bad. It's kind of cute, and she comes with a bracelet. So, as I mentioned, I absolutely love her face, but she is not articulated, which is definitely a problem for me. And I am going to see if we can figure out who her best body donor would be. Let's see. Whoops. These stands are tricky. There we go. I just don't understand why they can't make a good stand. She's really a cutie pie. I love her. So, and then let's see, before we get to the body donor, I just want to mention that this little Muslim outfit came from, on Etsy, a company called Prima Donna Dolls. Prima being spelled Pryma, and then Prima Donna Dolls. And it's a person from Sri Lanka that makes these. Now, I got this one I probably had this for at least a year for sure, maybe even 2 years. And I just was looking for the perfect doll to dress in this wonderful little outfit. But I did go on Etsy earlier today to see if this person was still in business, and she is. And but I didn't see this exact outfit. She did have an outfit for curvy, and then so she has the outfit that she currently has is a black dress very similar to this one. And it comes with 3 different hijabs. So different colors. So I think that's kind of nice. I think she's charging $22.55 for that. And then there's also a company called Dunya Diverse Dolls. And they have a really nice variety of all different kinds of Muslim outfits. And you might check them out as well. So I'm going to just see, as far as I can tell, there's 2 options. One is the boxer, because she's on a made-to-move body. And the other one is the green top. These 2 are pretty much the same. I think the green top might be just a tiny bit lighter. So let's see which one is a better match. This doll, by the way, this face mold, if you love this face mold and you're having a hard time getting her, a new one just came out with the same face mold. I think it's $236, if I remember correctly. It's either $236 or $239, but I think it's $236. And I saw a review on Ruby Red World of Dolls, and it's the one that comes in sort of like a silver outfit with a really nice darker skin tone of a really pretty color. And she looks like she has really nice hair. And she comes with the white cowboy hat or cowgirl hat. So she is currently available. I saw her on Amazon. So if you love this face mold and can't get a hold of this, exact doll, that other one is just as pretty. So let's see. Are you on there? Okay, here we go. I'm going to raise this up a little bit. It seems like the camera's a little bit... Okay, I'm having trouble doing that, so I'll just put her back there. All right, let's get this girl out of the box. I really want some bodies without heads. This head swapping thing grows old, in my opinion, but we do want the made-to-move dolls, and we have to do what we have to do, but I do wish it was easier. Okay, I think, Mattel's on the right track with with those new neck pegs. It's just, of course, not all the dolls are made that way yet. So let's get these boxing gloves off of you so we can see if you're a good match. So let's see. Oh, she's not a petite, is she? Boy, she seems a lot smaller. All right, let's see. She's wearing heels. Oh, whoopsie. That's interesting. She's on a stand. No, she looks smaller. Oh, that's interesting. I did not expect the boxer to be petite, but she is. Look, shoulder to shoulder. Look how much shorter her feet are. Huh. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Because I thought that she would have the perfect body, but I sort of wanted her to be a regular. Although it looks like this outfit would fit her either way. Wow, that's interesting. So let's see how this match is. I think that's pretty good, don't you? Well, it's not, I'm not going to say it's perfect. So the body is not exactly the same. However, it's pretty close. But if you use the hand method where you put the hand next to the face, I think it works really well. But, for the sake of this video right this minute, I'm not going to swap her out. I just wanted to see which doll is better for, so I could let you know. And then we can check out the green top as well. I know the green top is in big demand right now because she really works well with a lot of different dolls, and she's expensive now and hard to get. So, you know, I don't know which doll is better in this case, but where so much of this doll is going to be covered up. Oh yeah, she's a little bit lighter, I think. I think you could definitely use her, but she's a little bit lighter. But where so much of the doll is going to be covered up in the Muslim outfit, I don't think that it's awful. You know, I don't think it's a terrible thing if the body is not exactly the right tone. I think that it would work. I'm trying to get this bracelet off of her now because that won't work with her her outfit, or the shoes probably for that matter. I think she needs a more sensible shoe. So from what I understand, in the Muslim community, what the idea of covering up the ladies from head to toe, it's you know, it's just a modesty thing. I know that I'm not trying to say that I know anything about the, you know, Islam or the Muslim traditions, but I read up a little bit, and what I do understand clearly is that the Muslim girls, you know, wear the hijab and cover their bodies head to toe pretty much for modesty. And, you know, that's just basically the only rule. And so you can use patterns, you can have different colors. As far as the fabrics and that sort of thing is concerned, you know, loose is preferred to clingy outfits, again, because of the modesty situation. But there is a variety, and of course, different cultures will embrace different things. But, you know, the modern girls especially have a lot of different ideas about how they want to present themselves. So anyway, this dress is very nicely made. It's a very sweet little print, and it's a cotton fabric. The Velcro is thin, but pretty strong, maybe stronger than it needs to be, but it's nice quality, and it's nicely finished around the collar. Seems very nicely made. Okay, let's slip her into this. Okay, there she is. So apparently, especially the cleavage, I think that's actually in the Quran, that the cleavage of a woman needs to be covered. And a lot of the Muslim girls are really like coverage up front. So in addition to the long or the high neck dresses, they often cover that area with their hijab as well. So let's put some sensible shoes on her that cover her ankles. I'm going to put these little boots on her. And apparently the ankles aren't supposed to show either. So there we go. So far, so good. You know, I am going to raise this camera a tiny bit. I feel like it's a little bit low. Okay, I hope you're finding this camera angle okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull her hair back so that it's easier to put into the little cap, although she does have a lot of hair, so, you know, as much as I hate to cut her hair, I may have to, or we'll just be very clever. And I don't know if like a little bun would be the way to go to get, that's kind of a lot of hair there. But we'll do the best we can. So the hijab that came with this set is really nice. It came with this little cap, and then it also has the hijab itself. let's see if we can get all that hair into this little cap. Okay, let's see. Oops. All right. I might do this a little like off camera so it'll be easier. So I did end up cutting her hair because I just could not get her hair into the cap. And, you know, if she's going to be my Muslim girl anyway, she's always going to have this little cap on. So I think that that's fine. She, you know, her hair was okay, but she definitely didn't have the best hair either. So it's not a great loss. But the cap is cute. It fits nicely. From what I could gather, a lot of the Muslim girls wear, you know, sort of neutral colored caps, but they don't really show, just maybe a tiny bit under the hijab. There, that looks pretty good right there. A tiny bit of her hair still shows. So the hair should be all tucked in. No hair should show. So you shouldn't be able to tell what color her hair is underneath. And then here's the hijab itself. So this is just nicely, it's a very nice sort of jersey fabric. And it's been stitched over here. One side is a little bit longer than the other. Very nicely finished. We'll just slip that over her head. So we don't need to worry about pinning it or anything because it's already stitched there. And then what we're going to do is just pull this around like this. And then, you know, normally, you know, there's, it would be a little bit longer and you could pin it. But because she's a little Barbie, I think we can just use a black elastic to sort of fasten it around her neck. And then adjust this scarf so that it sits nicely on her. And they do like to cover the chest area, as I mentioned before. Maybe a little too much of that cap is showing, so I'm going to pull that up a little bit. And then I noticed some of the girls say that they like a little point on top of their head with the hijab. So, you know, if you get a little point, that's nice. A lot of the girls really like that. So basically, that's it. That's her little outfit. Now, if you want to make your own, I've been experimenting a little bit. Let's see. All right, let's fix the stand. There she goes. Here you are, Tina. You look adorable. And you can play with this. You could play with the volume a little bit. I mean, you could go like this. This is also a nice look, just to have some of it in the back and some of it in the front, or some of it on the side. So, you know, the Muslim girls really play with these and have a lot of, it's amazing what they can do with a piece of fabric, but they have a lot of, you know, different styles that I watch some videos and it's really cute what they do. So I have the Laura Croft doll here. I picked her only because her hair is already short, so I thought it'd be easier. And this is one of the most modest dresses that I have. So it's not long enough to fit into that sort of modesty category, but I did think that it could work with like a pair of stockings like this. This is just sort of a very thick stocking, and I think it would be okay with this. This is made by Daphne Studio. So this is very nice. Now, I would try it on her, except I can't get these boots off of her, so I just thought, you know, my original plan was to put those stockings on with these rather sensible shoes, but I'm just going to abandon that idea for the sake of moving along, because what I really want to do is show you how to make your own hijab. So these little tube tops, I bet you have a couple of them in your stash. These are two that I have. And what works really well is to slip this overhead. I'll do this one because this one fits really, really well, but the color blue doesn't really work with the scheme today. But you just put it on over the doll's head and then pull it up and tuck in all the hair. So probably if I were going to really use this, I would probably just snip the little stitching there that keeps that little gathering there, which would be normally where the bust is on these two sides. But what you want is just coverage of the hair. And you could, of course, use this side. I was just avoiding the seam, but you won't have the gathering there if you didn't want to cut it. Now, this one's a sport on it, but I think it'll work really well. This one's Velcroed in the back, and I don't think that sport part is going to show once we have the hijab over the cap. So I think this will work just fine. I just take a minute and put that on her. And get her hair all in there. This one is not as big as that other one. I think the other one's the perfect size, but so this Velcro situation is probably not ideal, and she does have a lot of hair still sticking out of it. So, that blue one does work better, I think, but I think this one will also suffice. Okay. And then, of course, if you don't have a tube top, I found this old mask from the pandemic that I happen to have hanging around, and this would make a really good cap. We'll take a little bit of, finagling, cutting, and maybe a little bit of sewing, but this fabric is a little bit stretchy, so not too stretchy. The stretchier your fabric, the better it's going to go. And then I have a couple of different options. I was trying to figure out what weight of fabric would work best if we were using the scarf method. This one is I'd say it's about 14 inches long. And I thought it would look nice with this dress. So the idea is to have one side a little shorter than the other. And you can double it up if you want to. And then it goes underneath the chin and around the neck, and then back up front. Now let's tuck that little sport thing so it doesn't show. Okay, so here's our Laura Croft with her hijab. So I did end up cutting, maybe, what is that, not quite 2 inches, about 1.5 inches off the bottom. I felt it was just getting a little too big down here. So basically, it's like this. So it's just tucked around her head and then gathered. Pull tight, and you can twist it here to make it a little bit snug around her head. To go around the neck, and then just open it up, and there it is. So there's a couple other ways you can wear this. It can come up. So this is perfectly fine like this. And this weight of the fabric, it's a like a cotton jersey. It was a scarf that I got at the thrift store, and I was looking for different weights of fabric to see what would be the best. This piece that can either hang down here, or you can make it go around like that, and then just keep this around the chest area. There we go. So that's also a nice look. And then you can also, if she wants to, it's a less modest look, but some girls will pull both of the sides back, and this one can be tucked in to the back. And this one can be tucked or just placed in the back. And that's another look right there. That's a really cute look. So poor Laura, she's a little sad looking doll, but she's cute. I like her. So if you're not familiar with the Laura Croft doll, it's interesting. She's got like grip hands, and then this hand has, I don't know, it looks like something on it. I'm not quite sure what that is, but she's an interesting doll because she has like made to move knees, and she has made to move elbows, and then her wrists as well move very well, very nice articulation, but she doesn't have the thighs or the chest or the upper arm articulation or ankles either, but she's a cool doll. So, that's the other, DIY, make your own hijab. She's definitely, that girl must be tall. I think that's what's going on there. I'm not sure. But I did experiment with a couple of different weights. The chiffon just doesn't quite fall as well because, they're doll. They're 1/6 scale. On humans, they fall really nicely. This fabric falls nicely. I think this is model, and that's what the girls normally wear. I just didn't want to cut this one up because this is a scarf I actually wear, and also red, too much. This one just is red pattern, so I thought that would work nicely. And then this is silk. The silk falls kind of nicely too. But of all the ones, I felt like the cotton jersey was the most successful. This one is, again, like just a little too stiff. So you need to experiment a little bit with the kind of fabrics you have on hand. But if you can find a cotton jersey, I think that was the best. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you decide to add some Muslim girls, or maybe you already have a Muslim character in your Dollyverse. And I hope you give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. And I hope to see you again in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
تشهد الأرض بهذا والسماء مسلما كنت وأبقى مسلما تشهد الأرض بهذا والسماء مسلما أحمل للناس الهدى وكما عشت سأبقى مسلما أحمل للناس الهدى وكما عشت سأبقى مسلما فاجعل اللهم مني مسلما فاجعل اللهم مني مسلما شاءني الله لإسعاد الوجود همتي لا ليس تدري ما الحدود شاءني الله